Hello everyone, this is Zeeebo and welcome to today's AFK Journey video. So in today's AFK Journey video, we're going to deep dive into the top 5 updated tips and tricks for free-to-play account progression, where we focus on tips and tricks for your account progression from a free-to-play player's perspective. So I do have a pay-to-win account where I spend money on the account to build up my units. I also have a free-to-play account where I go through careful resource management to actually maximize my account progression. So it is totally possible for you to enjoy the game and progress pretty smoothly in AFK Journey even as a free-to-play account. So in today's video, we're going to talk about the top 5 tips and tricks that you can use for account maximization. Let's go. Okay, so pointer number 1 might seem obvious, but it is with regards to AFK stages. So from a free-to-play player's perspective, AFK stage is the very fundamental where you can secure more rewards, right? So right now there are a lot of system optimization which allows you to run through records of other players, look at the teams, look at the charms, look at the levels of the unit to do a simple comparison of what you are lacking, right? What you can do even as a free-to-play account. So there's also players who actually actively manual the stages, which is represented by the manual battle right here, and you can click on this bar icon to run through the replay of the player to see what they do on manual for the optimization to clear through the stages itself. So ideally, if you have the time, if you have the energy, what you want to do is manual through your AFK stages, especially the tougher ones. But in most cases, as the game suggests, right, as the game name suggests, is AFK Journey, you can just copy paste comms that work from other players to actually just auto through the stages to get to your maximum stage depending on your play habits, how many hours you can commit to this game, and how much you want to play without burning yourself out. So if you realize right here, manual battle is I'll say like something that can give you the edge in the deficit pushing part, but it is not necessary. But if let's say you're free to play, you have a lot of time and you want to secure more rewards, then feel free to do it. So that's for the AFK stage side. So previously, I think for the deficit pushing part, there isn't much incentive for the free to play players to push too much, because first of all, once you reach a certain level threshold, season essence as well as your like talent shards, they're just used to give you more power from the seasonal mechanic side. But for this season specifically, they upgraded the progression side where you are able to get one invite letter the further you push in this stage. So this invite letter translates to permanent power up because you use this invite letter to pull for units, which allows you to sort of progress better in the upcoming future seasons itself. So that's for the AFK stage side. Very good stuff if you have the time and the energy to push. And once you maximize the daily AFK stage, what you can do afterwards is to use your daily hourglasses for even more rewards. So don't use your daily hourglasses before you push as much as possible. Once you're done for the day, use the daily hourglasses. And then for the gem paid daily hourglasses, if you are in the early game of AFK Journey where levels are important, where equipments are important, where whatever additional resources gives you additional power up, you can actually spend your gems to purchase the hourglasses. But once you reach a certain threshold, I'll say in most cases for this season or for most of the seasons in general, level 800, right, you want to stop purchasing the hourglasses as a free-to-play player, because level 800 is basically the point where you max out your equipment levels, because your equipment power-ups is related to your resonance level, right? So your resonance level dictates how much you can upgrade your equipment, and your equipment gives you a pretty big power-up in the early to mid-game. So for free-to-play players, even if you're free-to-play, you should spend your gems to level up as much as possible, minimally to 800 to max out your equipment. Right, ideally level 800 also maxes out all the core level mechanics for all the different game modes. Like for example, long gaze right here, as you guys can see, once you reach level 800, whatever other levels you get on your units will give you bare minimum power up. So that's why 800 is like the core important point for the spending for free-to-play players for the gems on the daily hourglasses in general. Point number 2, wishlist. So I think wishlist is an important part for free-to-play players because at the start of the game, you'll get a lot of resources for your pools, for your gachas, and it is easy to forget that, you know, these resources, they will run dry, right? So whatever units you put on a wish list, whatever priorities you focus on your wish list in general will dictate the direction where your account will go and the general power level of your account. So generally, I do a monthly wish list update for the wish list itself, discussing my choices for certain units in different metas. But for free-to-play players, right, what I would suggest is building up units with good longevity, units which are good for a really long time or has been good for a decently long time. So this includes like units like Odie as well as Coco. Like these two units, they just have been around for a really long time and they have been proven to work for a really long time. Very good unit longevity. You also want to focus on units which are generally versatile. Units like Shakir, generally versatile. Units like Smokey, also generally versatile. So versatility refers to how much the unit sees use across different game modes. Dream Realm, AFK Stages, your PvP Arena, Supreme Arena, Clash Fronts, or even all the other mini games in general. So like these are good units you want to go for to give you that edge as a free-to-play player, because first of all, as a free-to-play player, you want to cover as much content as possible to secure maximum rewards. So versatility, insanely important. So with regards to the other slots, right, because wishlist is a pretty profound topic, I think you want to have a good mixture on units which are good for both PvE as well as PvP, right? So why is that? Because like some people say, yeah, free-to-play players, they're not going to enjoy PvP as much. I'm going to talk about that later, but you want to have a good mix, because even as a free-to-play player, you can still secure a decent ranking in PvP, right? But you can only do that if you are running decently good PvP characters as well. So like you might not be able to be top 1, top 10, or even top 20, but you should be able to secure at least like decent rewards from the PvP side with some decently built up PvP characters. For example, Iron, pretty versatile, pretty PvP centric as well. Tarsi is also really good. Like these are good units which I think generally they're versatile and they're also pretty strong for PvP. So these are the wishlist priorities with regards to a free-to-play player's account. So you want, number one, versatility. Number two, you want like balance in your wishlist. Like if, for example, the Mauler class is strictly PvE centric, then your other classes should have some PvE and a mix of PvP so that you have more balance, right, in terms of the units you can use in the different game modes. So that's for the wishlist side. Don't copy this because this is not like the most free-to-play friendly one. It's like catered to my account, so just make the adjustments. Always know your direction as well as set your wishlist straight and build up your units, and then adjust and make necessary changes according to the meta changes as we progress in the game in general. Okay, so pointer number 3, this is some of my personal tips and tricks that I use, and that is being resourceful with your in-game resources, right? Being resourceful to give you more overall gains is important. And this is something which I think even as a free-to-play player, you can maximize on a day-to-day basis. So for this part, I will use a few examples to sort of explain my points and the different things I do on a day-to-day basis. So first of all, if you take a look at the daily quests page, this is basically the things that you do on a day-to-day basis. As a free-to-play player, you can max out everything, right? And one of the, I'll say like quests which requires you to recruit in a Nova Tavern might seem challenging at first glance because you are spending quite a bit of gems to do pools, right, on a day-to-day basis. But if you combine all the different like quests, for example, purchase from emporiums, as well as all the different daily event missions that you can get, like there's quite a few. Honored one right here has some quests that gives you additional tickets which you can use to translate to more voting for more resources on top, as well as more affinity items in general to give you more pools, right? So this is where you want to buy your invite letters on a day-to-day basis from the Emporium shop, okay, right here as you guys can see, okay, and then do the single pulls on a day-to-day basis. So this will allow you to clear your daily quests on this pool over here. And if there's an event or if there's a quest which requires you to do like 10-20 pulls for your invite letters itself, that's where you are able to use your stocked up resources to do for those pulls. For example, like the Honor 1 event where you get more tickets, more voting, and then that will give you more affinity item, which will give you more gems in your character affinity side of things. So this is what I mean by being resourceful, right? Being able to get more resources with whatever existing resource you have by being efficient. So that's one of the tips and tricks that I recommend. So we're going to do a daily recruit here, clear our daily quest, and then we get at least like one pool on a day-to-day basis to power up our character, right? So being patient is also important because like you might have the urge to go for the pools, but then planning your resources is important. So another tips and trick I use with regards to the planning side, or the resource management side is taking a look at all the different quests available. Like, what can my resources translate into? So with regards to summons, you have the daily quest side, you have the guild quest side as well, right? You can obtain your guild coins by doing recruitment to get more Dolly's ticket. And this actually gives you even more contribution to your guild on a week-to-week basis. And this will give you more chests, which is also more resources as well. So this part is about just getting more resources with whatever you have and being efficient with those resources. Now, since we are on the topic of guild chests right here, another way to give you more resources is to clear up as much of these weekly coins as possible. So what do I mean by that? Right here, just now we talked about like getting more guild coins from your recruitment site, but you kind of want to clear through as much of this as possible. I think the only one which I think free-to-play players cannot clear is the earn the material points, because for this one you need to spend in the game to actually max it. But for the rest of the other guild quests on a week-to-week basis, it is 100% possible for you to clear it. Maybe it's going to be a little bit challenging for the dollar ticket side, because like I mentioned earlier, you want to sort of plan your pooling. You want to use your dollar ticket at the right time to translate to maximum resource gain across different game modes, right? So this is where this tool might be a little bit challenging, but for the rest, pretty easy, right? And for this assist in proxy synergy corrupt creatures battle, number one, you can get this by doing your corrupt creatures assist for other players, right? Help them clear through corrupt creatures, get 10 of this, and then you will be able to max out the coins here. Another way for you to do proxy battle, this is something which I think most people might not know, is that for the proxy assist, even for the Titan River right here, you will be able to go into battle and then get the proxy battle clear even if you don't do that much damage. And the fastest way to do your proxy farm on a weekly basis is to just put 2 weak unit, go into battle, and right now there's even the skip battle function, so it's going to be even faster in terms of all this proxy battle stuff. So we're going to go into battle, a little bit laggy right here, we're going to skip the battle, okay, and then we will be able to get 1 proxy battle in. Okay, so we are done with this one. We're going to do 1 more so that we can showcase the clearance of the guild quest. So it's a little bit laggy here. We're going to go into Kai's thing again. So like by doing so, you can see that the lucky coin also gives you the additional coins, right, for helping other people in the proxy battle. So this is where you will be able to farm for your coins, your lucky flip coins. You'll be able to farm for your guild points to give you more guild contribution, to give you more chests. Okay, so for the guild contribution part, we are done with 2 resources. We're going to go into the guild side. So for this guild contribution, you're able to get guild contribution by being super active in the game, right? So doing that gives you more guild contribution. So right here we are at 760. Let's go into our guild claim. Okay, so as you guys can see, we are done with the proxy battle. We're going to claim it. So you can do this for 10 assists to maximize the coin side. So this is for those of you guys who are wondering how to clear this easily. And then while you do the proxy battle, while you help other people in the Titan River proxy battle itself, you will be able to obtain additional keys right here. So this will translate to more rewards in your lucky flip event while doing other stuff. So let's go back into the guild side. Let's go into guild. Go into guild chest and take a look at our contribution right here. So you can see my guild activeness actually progressing a little bit more, and this actually translates to more chests on a weekly basis as well. So these are all the different tips and tricks that I use for my own free-to-play account for account resource maximization. Last but not least, setting an ideal target for yourself, right, in terms of your account build up, as well as being patient and getting all the different free resources you can get from whatever avenue is going to be important for your free-to-play account. So first of all, for the being patient, as well as obviously setting the correct expectation part, obviously this is a marathon, right? This game is a marathon more than a sprint, and planning your account gives you the enjoyment. The more units you build up, right, you will be able to enjoy the different game modes more as your account becomes stronger, and you are able to actually progress further with bigger numbers or bigger achievements over time. But it is also important to set an expectation, because as a free-to-play player, if you take a look at all these different game modes, there are going to be certain game modes more skewed towards the pay-to-win players, and this is where, right, knowing what game modes you can get the most enjoyment out of maximizing for that game mode and then building up the correct characters for that game mode is going to give you maximum enjoyment. So most people will say, yeah, free-to-play players should just focus on Dream Realm, should just focus on all the PvE contents. But I beg to differ. I think it depends on really what you enjoy. Obviously, there are certain units which are good for both Dream Realm and other game modes. But in most cases, right, you want to build up units which you find the most enjoyment out of. This is per individual basis, because like not everyone is a hardcore Dream Realm player, right? Not everyone is a Guild Supremacy player, and some people might just enjoy clashing in Clash runs. Some people might just enjoy Supreme Arena and Arena despite the Paragon disadvantage. So you want to focus on units. You want to focus your account built up to skew towards your favorite game modes, such that in the event, right, you are able to build up your units to a certain tier and start to enjoy those game modes. That's where you will get the maximum happiness out of it. So that's for like the free-to-play players. Not everyone, but individual. Right? If you are more PvP centric, then go ahead. Even if you're free to play, you can build up more PvP centric characters. But in most cases, you want to find a fair balance as well. Like I mentioned, versatility, so that you can actually get some rewards out of Dream Realm for your account built up in general. So that's for the PvP side, right? In terms of strategic planning, in terms of being patient, setting the correct expectation, and last but not least, right, getting all the resources you can get, and that includes getting free codes from both the official website as well as content creators. So for that, we're going to do another 50 codes giveaway right here on my Discord server. Pretty simple. Join my Discord server, go into the giveaway site, click onto the enter tab right here, and you will be eligible for the giveaway for the codes in general. So that's pretty much it. I think for the free-to-play players, these are the few tips and tricks that I want to talk about with my own account right here. So I would say, as a free-to-play player for a really long time on this account, there are game modes where you might feel a little bit like powerless from time to time, but in general, having the correct expectation, planning your account out is also a huge achievement in itself, which will give you enjoyment in the long run to love AFK Journey in general. So that's it for this video. Thank you very much for tuning in. Do remember to like and subscribe to see more. I'll see you guys again in my next video. Bye guys!